like I said, this here, can't let this fool you. This is probably going to be a bull flag or bear flag. And it might go up for 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar. It might touch the moving average and come back down. But this leg is so strong, even with all these tails. See, they have tails, but they have bare bodies. So the bears still won. They were advancing the price lower and lower. These had tails, but they had bull body, bear body, bull body, bear body. So the bulls are weaker, but they're stronger in this part of the chart. Okay, they're stronger in this part of the chart. Why? Because it's the bottom of the range. Okay, middle of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range. Bears should be strongest up here, which you see they didn't stay up here long, sold it off. Bulls should be strong down here. If bulls are not showing that they're strong down here, and bears are strong at the bottom of the range, and they have gaps, they start to leave gaps open, you see conveniently all the gaps have been closed here. This gap, this was a gap until this bar here, okay? And you have a small gap here. You have a small gap right here that might pull price back to. That's a gap there. And that's the only gap that you have above. All the other gaps have been closed. So if I start to get follow through from this, or if I get a bull bar, they can't even put in a bull bar. So why would I think you're going up? I think you're going down. It's pretty defined. One touch, maybe two. Welcome back, guys. So we're in a trading range. I'm going to count this as a failed breakout to the range. Came back in earlier or late in the day, dropped down here overnight, and it's finding support down here. We've already ran this low, okay? So price really needs to energetically get to the high, or it needs to decide if it's going to come to this low. Right now, though, trading range open, doji on the open, probably going to get a trading range bar. So this open is very, well, the open's always very important, but it's very important. This is a doji. Price is trying to escape this area here, okay? It's actually trying to stay here, but if it finds a reason to escape, meaning more buying or selling, you need to go with that, because this is going to be an opening range. And it's probably going to be this way until Powell starts talking or stops talking, and then it'll find some momentum. But big moves up, big moves down. You see the ATR average is 28, and we're getting 37-point bars here. So just by looking at this, like I explained in my other video about ATR, why it's so important, you can see that I know something that I didn't know before. This open is more volatile than the last, how many periods do I have this set to? I think it's 20. Yeah, I like 20. We could do 32, but let's see what the 30 looks like. Okay, so 25 on the 30 and 28 on the 20. So between 25 and 28, and these bars are above all of that. So these bars have been very volatile comparative to what it was. Let's look at this at the same time yesterday. Let's go back to replay and let's do 902 yesterday. Let's see what it was. So it was 31 yesterday and 29 going into that. Probably because of this big bar here, but that probably would have been filtered out by now because this is a 4-period ATR. So this open is more volatile than yesterday. It's giving you more trending behavior than yesterday did, even though we're at the bottom of a trading range. Okay. So bulls are having a hard time here. Moving averages are fanned out, showing you some momentum down, but that's because of this gap. If I turn on extended hours, you'll see there's really no fanning here. It's more of a trading range, which we've been stuck in. But on the regular chart, we're fanned out, and we're looking more bearish than bullish. Definitely looking bearish on the chart. Looking at ADD and tick on another screen here, and they're climbing slowly. Started at negative 500, 600 companies. Now we're up to positive 394. So 800 companies have went positive since the open, but the price has not went positive since the open. So that we're back at the current price now. And that's because this is a magnet right here. It's going to continue every time the price gets a little bit away. If the bears don't commit to this downside, it's going to suck price all the way back here. Gets too high, bears or bulls don't commit to the upside, it's going to suck prices back to here. So very important, this midpoint here, this range. Okay, bullish close, not a very good signal bar for the bulls though. Big tail on the top, trading range bar, bottom of a trading range is what you would expect. Biggest bar on the chart at the open, or right now since the open, is a bear bar, 42-point bear bar. So this was big enough to get a second leg down, but it doesn't look like it did that. So if you had put your stop below here and you had bought this, you're still in profit. Yeah, that's a good way to know how strong the trend is. Look at had you just done the proper thing, which is bear bar, bull bar closing at its high. You bought the high. Yeah, you got trapped, but your stop is below here. And if you haven't gotten stopped out, it's probably still a good trade because it came down and it never violated this low. Okay, but I'm not in a trade right now because this is a trading range at the bottom of a trading range, nested ranges. So it's deciding if it wants to break out. They're negotiating this level right now. So I don't really see the use of taking a position until I see consecutive bars. Where's the consecutive bars? Bulls have been able to do it once, but bad follow through. So you bought this bar, you bought the top of this, you're disappointed. Do you think you'll buy the top of this with this long wick and this big bear bar? No, probably won't buy the top of that. And if this can't close strongly bullish, you won't buy the top of that, which increases the chances of a second leg down at least. Okay, down to sideways. Because we're in a trading range though, I don't think it'll go very far. But if it starts to pick up, breaks below here and closes below here, that'll be the first sign. And then a bull bar or a bear bar, second sign, and then some follow through. That will give me my my three confirmations that I'm looking for. Just 3 reasons to enter the trade. So you don't get them on every trade, but I notice when I stick to 3 reasons to enter, and they're strong reasons, like a close below a key level, and follow through from that close, then it's a lot more reliable trade. But bears are selling this because it's in a trading range right now, and bulls are buying below here. So chances are, if it does fall below here, excuse me, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. If it does fall below here, it's not going to do it for long. It's not going to do it very well. Now on this channel here, right here, looks like now. All right, so we had limit bears that bought this, or limit bulls that bought this low here. Okay, they're limit bulls because they bought the low of the range, they bought the low of this candle, and they're buying the low of this candle. If they get defeated, we were just talking about, we got a bear's close because this is not a good signal bar to go long. Okay, you saw them go long above here, bottom of a range, stop there, stop bulls, tried to go long, didn't work out for them, went up a little bit, and then they got stopped out. They bought this bar and put their stop below here. Not all of them did because they put it below here if you're trading properly. These participants have not been stopped out yet. When they get stopped out, that is showing you that the limit bulls for the moment have been defeated. So, and it looks like what the market's getting ready to go do. If they save it again though, that's going to be interesting because then the bulls might commit and we might break up to the top of this range if we fail to get below here again, or if we just wick it and then get bought all the way back up, probably going to go higher. But this is what the bears want. They showed strength. It's been inside of this bar. This bar is inside of this bar, so you have an II pattern and then an IIO. So you're in breakout mode. The market's trying to find a way. This bar is inside this bar. This bar is inside this bar. This bar is outside of this bar. And this bar is outside of this bar. So this is an I because it's an inside bar. I, inside bar, O, IIO. So it's just a breakout pattern. Market's trying to find direction right now. So who's making money? Right now, the bears are making money. How are they doing it? They're doing it on limits. This bear sold this. This bear sold this. This bear sold this high. This bear sold this high. Didn't even wait till they got to the high. And this bear sold this high. Okay, so they're making money on limits right now in a trading range environment. And where are we in the trading range environment? We are at the bottom of the trading range. So optimal place to buy, especially with this wick now to the low side. We did come below here and take them out by a tick, but found buyers there. Didn't trade below. Now we're pushing back up. Looks like to the top of this range. Powell talks here shortly. We are still in a bull channel. Got higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. Bulls need higher lows more than they need lower highs. I'm sorry, bulls need higher lows more than they need higher highs because the higher lows are where they put their stops below. So now we're seeing some buying pressure come up here. Last little bit of this candle. Racing to the top of the range, breaking through moving averages. But we got to see follow through. We want follow through of this bull trend. Last time big bulls bought up here, though, they got knocked out. So they're probably not eager to buy here. And we'll find out when this bar closes how eager or not eager they are. So big surprise bar. This went one tick below this green bar, trapped some bears, and then took off in the other direction. So ATR is still larger than average right now. The average is slowly catching up. But I would go long at the top of this bar, but I don't know if the bears are going to sell it off again because that's all they've been doing. We've had a trading range now for almost an hour. So I'm not expecting this to do too much. I'm expecting this to be a trap. They might go above it for a little bit and then come back down. They're going to need to give me a consecutive close above this, and then I will consider going long this market. Because we're also at the top of the channel now. And we have a wedge, 3 pushes up. 1, pull back 2, pull back 3, and this went below this low. But we're definitely breaking above this trend line here. Maybe trying to make it to the top of this triangle. Now at the bottom, or in the middle of this range right here. So this was the target price. Bears got to it, tried to sell below it. Bulls saw too much value here. Used it to push off to another range's low, or another range's midpoint right here. Stuck to this one. So just think of it like the further it gets away from this mid price, or any magnet, the weaker the attraction gets, and the closer it gets to this. Now, what's a magnet for this? Well, since you broke out the bottom, you're probably going to go break out the top. Okay, you're going to test the top side of it. Couldn't make it to the bottom, you don't test the top. So I'd like to see this close a bit bullish, and then I'll consider nibbling on the position. It definitely feels like it's going up. We're moving to the top of the range. About 2 minutes left in this bar. I want to see how it handles this high here. Because now stop bulls have made money if they leave this gap open. You got a small gap right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. We can highlight it a little better. These, I'm going to leave on here. I'm going to leave these on here until I get a retest. And I'm going to leave this down here too. I don't know if this means anything. But if you do it like this, you can see the triangle connecting the bodies. Broke below it, failed, came up, broke above, failed, came down, couldn't break below, went back up. Let's see if we can break above. But now the mid price is looking more like this. So chances are, probabilities are, this will be sucked back down to this price again because it's an important price. We've just tested this here. So we tested this and seen that the bears are in control. We can be sucked back down here. If this bar closes red, a lot of bears will short this. I don't know if I will, but if this bar closes red and below this midpoint, a lot of people are going to short this, but we're being sucked back to this midpoint right here because this has been the open range, and this is the fair price of the open range right here. So we got a chance to buy this again if we believe limit bulls are going to step back in and try to buy this. But if stop bears are making money, limit bulls are not. We have not seen a stop bear make money here because each bear bar has not been traded below. This wasn't traded below. It's closed. This wasn't traded below. It's low. This wasn't traded below. This wasn't traded below. It was, but it got bought right back up. Open here, popped down, and then jumped up. So they did sell a little bit up here. That's not a good bar to go long over. It's not a good bar for confirmation, especially after you've seen this. So probably going to get some sideways or maybe a little up. They might try again to go above this, but there's really no reason, no good signal bar to get long on. But this changes if the context changes. Now we have a sell signal that triggered. Bulls can short below a bear bar, or bears can short below a bear bar, which is what they want to do. But you're in the shadow of this big bull bar, and you're about 50% of it, and you look like they're defending it again. So limit bulls might crowd out these stop bears because they have to make money. Limit bulls have to make money at the expense of stop bears. Okay, so we're getting a reversal up here. That's why we didn't buy, because they didn't buy before. They tried to, it failed. So this is weaker than this. We all agree on that. This had a big bull bar closing near its high, had a doji follow through but still green and a close above the high. This had a big bar closing at its high. This had a big wick to the top and reached, couldn't get anywhere with that. Closed below its open, closed, and then good follow through bar. So bears are definitely stronger here, in my opinion. But we are in a limited order market. We're in a trading range. I keep saying that. And no matter how strong it looks, in either way, you can't count on it until you get a breakout and a move away from that range. And potentially a retest up. Because it looks like they want to buy this up again. They want to trap some more bulls. They went below all the lows, hit the low of the day. And now they want to come back up and trap bears then. So if this pops up, you have trapped bears running this up. And the bears know they're trapped. Okay, they know they're trapped. But you also have trapped bulls above this high because you ran up, making this look like continuation, and trapped them here and came back down. So anyone that bought this is disappointed. Okay, they might buy more lower, and bears might get out after they run this low and just to get a test of the midpoint maybe. But there's that midpoint again. See, so let's say you sold the high. Let's say you sold the high there. What would you be buying to get back to the midpoint? You'd be buying about where they're buying right now. You'd be buying about that low. That low will get you back to this midpoint. You get out with a profit on this one and a break even on this one. And you have a pretty high chance of it being pulled back to this because you're in an expanding triangle. So just trading range, just like yesterday. Yesterday was the same damn way. Open with all this indecision. Small triangle here. Small triangle there. And you can see all day price was pulled back to that price, which is around the mid price of the range. So price was moving up and down, all above that. So bears, looks like they might be getting trapped here. So you sold the low of a range in a bear. That has not worked anywhere. It hasn't worked here, and you had a very good bar, and it didn't work here. So this bar closed at its low, and you sell the low. What are you saying? So limit order market, stock participants can't make money. In limit order markets, the opposite bar is your bar. So just think of it that way. So this is my bar to go long. This is a signal for me to go long. I'm at the bottom of a trading range, at the bottom of a trading range. That's like prime position to go long, right? Adjust these lines now so they make more sense this way. Put that one there, got this one right here. That's kind of crazy old thing. But you definitely have this one here. This could be a wedge bottom. 1, 2, 3. You're trying to reach this. But limit bears are weaker now. But think about this. In most trading ranges, you have a bull and a bear trend starting. So let's say that you have a higher high, you have a high, you have a lower high. If this bull trend had just continued up, you would say the bull trend began here. Okay, you'd say begin here because low, higher low, high, higher high. Now if this bear trend continues down, okay, you'll say that it began here. Low, low, high, lower low. This is the start of it. We come back up here, higher low. You know what I'm trying to say, lower high. But I think this is getting ready to flip again. Moving averages are fanned out, but they should have had time to catch up a little bit by now. On the ETH chart, we have 2 pushes up, or 3 pushes up and a wedge for ES. ES and NASDAQ are moving kind of counter to each other. Oh, not counter. They're both down, but they're moving a little different. Now we're getting an energetic move through these lows here. That's an average size bar. Why is it so far over there? Let's bring it back a little bit. There we go. That's an average bar. Average range is 30. ATR is finally caught up to that range. I don't think this is set right though. Let's make this 2. So average range is 32. ATR is 40. Has not caught up yet. Toward the end of the candle, limit bulls are stepping in, trying to buy. We're at the 20. We're at the 200. Could get an expensive move out of this. When Powell is set to speak, he might be talking about.
Public good that is money. I think it risks undermining our capacity to conduct monetary policy, and I think it's risk weakening the sovereignty of those countries or those regions which inadvertently become subject of the use of that means of payment infrastructure slash alleged money, and we should not only just consider it, but determine what our policy should be about it if we mean what we say and we protect what we have to protect. Thank you.
Chairman, I actually have a question. Do you fully support the recent proposal driven by the Vice Chair for Supervision, Michelle Bowman, on rolling back capital rules? Will that actually meaningfully improve liquidity in the Treasury market?
I do fully support what we voted for when we put out for comment, which is
We did test this line again.
ratio back where it
Going
should
from
be,
here
which
to
is
here
a
to here.
backstop to risk-based
The
capital.
wedge broke up. Looks like they want to form a bigger wedge though.
Stable points if I can. I do share.
So if this reverses, this is a bigger wedge.
I also think it's
Still
positive
an expanding
that,
triangle.
we don't have
Pushes
a
up.
regulatory framework
One,
for these now. In the United States, we tried very hard in the last Congress to work with
Might be working on a fourth push-up.
both sides of the aisle to create such a thing. Now it looks like we're well on the way to creating a framework, which I think is
I'm gonna buy this
something we
thing in
need.
here.
You know, if we're going to have stable coins, and apparently we are, we need to have a federal and state level regulatory framework, which I think we're
I'm gonna buy above a bull bar.
We only have a couple of minutes left, and so, many of you have plenty of time left in office, others will leave sooner. Knowing what you know today, Governor Ueda, if you already had to offer some advice to your successor, whoever that may be, what would it be?
I don't know. I finished in 2.5 years or so. Maybe, as I said, inflation would be at 2%. But I want to have finished reducing our balances to appropriate levels. So I would say to my successor, taking great care in proceeding with the reduction of further reduction of the balance sheet, size of the balance sheet.
We're almost close to a 600 tick.
Say anything because I remember
Lots of companies being bought up to 839 positive. But look at that. They can't support the price. Man, now you have a gap above. You have a gap right here. Okay. And the gap is right below and above the magnet. So you have two reasons to come back to this price, and the bulls have declined to do it.
we're trying to
And
deliver
I'm thinking that we're going down.
stability, financial stability, economic stability too, for the benefit of all the people. If we're going to do that successfully, we need to do it in a completely non-political way, which means we don't take sides, we don't play one side against the other, we stay out of issues that are really not our bailiwick, and we just focus on those things. Really, we're trying to have it be so that the public lives their best economic lives, and so elected policymakers can make the really important decisions in a stable environment. And so that's how I think about it.
Governor Reed.
I can say something, but I don't know whether my successor can say anything. But given that I mentioned structural issues, I hope that the Bank of Korea continue to raise both outside.
So NQ is definitely weaker than ES. It's just who's going to follow who.
Governor Bailey.
Because this is not happening on ES right
So
now.
we're exercising real power. Many people think we're not humble. Be humble. And
See how
I'll say
much
this if
weaker
you
that
want an
looks?
illustration of this. Steve and I were both in Ukraine week before last.
This is still
We
the
think we
channel.
have it difficult. Spend time
And an
with the
expanding
central
wedge,
bank.
but less of a wedge. Unless you cut off that high there.
Thank you so much to
It's more
everyone.
expanded
Wonderful.
there.
Thank
And
you.
the market probably not reached out. You could get a bone down here. Consecutive bear bars.
Thank you to Francine and to all of our panelists for doing such an excellent job of bringing today's first day of Sintra to a fitting end. For those of you in the room, just two pieces of housekeeping. We'd like you all to vote on.
Is he done speaking already? It looks like he might be done talking. The market can do what it wants to do. But big rejection at the high. Glad I didn't buy. I'd be down here $600 down right now, sweating it. But look at ES. You bought this. You bought this here. Where does your stop go? You bought anywhere. You bought anywhere in the last hour. Your stop is here or here. Okay? And it hasn't threatened the stops down here yet. In a trading range day, I expect it to want to. So I'm expecting it to come down here and want to take that out and then pull back to the middle of the range. But it could just go up because it's giving you bullish structure now. Got a high, higher high, low, equal to lower, equal lows. So double bottom here. So it could give you something. But it's just meandering around. It's not giving me any, it's giving me uncertainty. I don't know which way it's going to go. That's how I know it's in a trading range. If it was giving me urgency, bar after bar after bar, I would just buy. I would just buy the bars. But if it keeps doing this, if it keeps shrinking bull bars, no bull is making money. Not limit bulls that are buying the lows of bars. They're not making money. Buying the lows, buying below 50% pullback. They're not making money here. And limit bears, or bears for whatever reason they're selling, they're making money. They sell the top. They sell the top of bear bars. The top of green bars, they make money. They sell the top of bear bars, they make money. So lots going on here, lots to see. But bears are looking like they're gathering this strength here and taking this down. And I might be missing a good trend. But I want to see how they do with this low. It is quite a distance to the low, though, if I think they're going. It's about 7 points, but I think they're going. I could sell this right now, thinking that they're going to go there. And then if they pop up, they're going to go back to the top of this range. And I need to see what my risk would be at the top of that range. If I sold two, it'd be about 1,600. Yeah, it still hasn't convincingly told me that we're going down. A lot of wicks on the top of bars, a lot of wicks below bars. You don't want to sell below bars with big wicks, big tails on them. A lot of dojis. This is a pretty good reversal bar here, closed at its low. That's why you're getting this. More people saw this and believed it will go lower a little bit. But I'd like to short a green bar at its high, if possible. Maybe get a big old bar that comes back and takes this out. I'd short the hell out of that right here. I'd short right here. We're now below the 20, below the 200. If I short now, my stop has to go above this high, which we established is 15 points away. If we get a measured move down, I'm going to take a call real quick. All right, we're back. I'm going to trade now. I got into it on the phone. Probably not the best idea. I sold the lowest low, as you can see here. Got some staggered exits here. They're only 2 points away. But I'm thinking if this is going to run up, you know, I'm just gonna keep my stops where they are. I don't want to see this take out anything. But how many points is this here? This is 7 points, and an ATR is about 7 points right now. So can the bulls put in an ATR of 7 points and take my stop? Maybe. Or are they more likely to go down 7 points before they try to do that? Let's see what happens. Buy low, sell high, scout, looking for a couple points. Okay, looks like it might try to come below here. don't like that it didn't just come below here. I don't like that at all. Okay, now we're getting something. See, it did it again. It's playing down here. It's losing momentum. This is why I went to short above the bull bar. But I think we got something here. Move it to break even here. Stop. All right, I'm getting a little something here. I'm trailing aggressively because I think it's going to just reverse on my ass.
Stop filled.
All right, so we're out of that. That was a small little scalp. $75 scalp. I think it's coming through this low, but it's taking its time. Consecutive bear bars. We're going down. All right, so came through this low like I thought it would, and I couldn't hold on. Probably because I was a little too big. The next target is this low here, and then obviously that low. Let's see if there's any ranges here we need to be concerned about. A bounce down here, double bottom would make sense. That's why I didn't want to hold that too long. Because when I shorted, I wanted it to do what it did, just take out that low, and I was going to cover below. But it didn't. It stalled, it waited, did all this, and then went down. So I didn't make a lot of money there. But if bulls come back here at this level now, that makes sense. That makes sense. Big up, big down, big confusion, probably trading range day, and you couple that with a trading range open, pretty much a trading range open, and that's what you're going to get. This is the middle of that range right here. But if you look at that, that's probably the top there. That's probably the top right there. Respected it once, struggled at it, got over it, came back down, gap below it, struggled on the way up, wicked it, and then came down. So let's ask the questions again. Who's making money? How are they doing it? Bears are making money at the moment. It's a limit order market. It's in a trading range. It's at the bottom to the middle of a trading range. So it's in the middle of this, and it's at the bottom of this. This trading range from the day, it's at the bottom of the bottom 1/3. So like I said, if we get a buy here off of this level, it makes sense to buy. But bulls have to really convince. They have to close a bar green, and the next bar has to waste no time getting above it. A reversal here would make sense though. Just broke this trend line here. Clean some of these lines up here. ATR still at 6. Average ATR 7. So a little bit lower than it normally moves. Now it's completely pulled back to where I got out. So big wick on the bottom after sweeping the lows. Probably going to get a bull bar soon. But this is a strong enough leg down. It's much stronger than this leg up where you had bear bar, bull bar, bear bar. That if you get continuation, if you get a bull bar, you're probably going to get some continuation. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to short one, and I'm going to look to short further on that continuation if it comes. Let's see what my risk would be from here to here. Still about that 16. It's about $800 with one of these. Okay, so we're getting an inside bar. Had this traded below here, I would have shorted, but we're getting an inside bar. After this closed above its midpoint, now we're getting some inside bar. But like I said, this here, can't let this fool you. This is probably going to be a bull flag or bear flag. And it might go up for 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar. It might touch the moving average and come back down. But this leg is so strong, even with all these tails. See, they have tails, but they have bare bodies. So the bears still won. They were advancing the price lower and lower. These had tails, but they had bull body, bear body, bull body, bear body. So the bulls are weaker, but they're stronger in this part of the chart. Okay, they're stronger in this part of the chart. Why? Because it's the bottom of the range. Okay, middle of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range. Bears should be strongest up here, which you see they didn't stay up here long, sold it off. Bulls should be strong down here. If bulls are not showing that they're strong down here, and bears are strong at the bottom of the range, and they have gaps, they start to leave gaps open, you see conveniently all the gaps have been closed here. This gap, this was a gap until this bar here, okay? And you have a small gap here. You have a small gap right here that might pull price back to. That's a gap there. And that's the only gap that you have above. All the other gaps have been closed. So if I start to get follow through from this, or if I get a bull bar, they can't even put in a bull bar. So why would I think you're going up? I think you're going down. I almost want to place my trade and walk away. Not a good bear bar to sell below though. Right here. You don't want to sell low, you want to sell high. So you already see there's buying down here. Bears are going to be less eager to short down here. They might wait until we get higher up into this channel to short. We have multiple reasons to do it. We have a retest coming in here. Okay, got a retest of that. You have the 20-period moving average here. You have the top of the range. You broke out the bottom right here. Usually you do that and you fail. You want to come to the top and try to break out the top. So we got a couple reasons to come here. We just got to wait for more price action to see. They're negotiating this range. Bears know they could be all in short, but they know they're at the bottom of a range. What I don't see here, though, is bears covering, and then you would get a big green bar. I see bears continuing to sell, and I see bulls trying to buy. So there might be some more buying down here, but I think the selling pressure is still strong in this level, which is making me think that we're going to test below here, and potentially the lower Friday. Potentially the lower Friday gets tested between now and tomorrow. So remember that when you're trading, that low will probably get tested. Most likely test. Okay, but you're getting a lot of uncertainty. Inside bar. Take a look at NQ again here. Okay, so bad follow through on NQ, but this is a good close. It's a decent close. It's above the high. We're looking for a retest. Got kind of a trend line established here. They've tapped it twice. We're looking for a retest of this, and then a pull away, and then we can start to get short again. But look at how strong this is, and look at how weak this looks so far. Bulls have to do a lot. Even if they did a couple of these. Let's simulate a couple green bars here. Let's say they do that. They trade above there, and then they trade above there. That's what they're really going to need to do to make me think that this is not a bear leg and a start of a bear trend instead of a bear leg in a trading range, which is what it is right now. And that's what it is right now either way, because we don't have a bear trend yet. We don't have a lower high and then a fall away and breaking this low. So if they're going to convince me that this is going up, they're going to have to do something that looks like this and to push this to the high. This is an average bar right now, so it's totally within their capabilities to do that. But let's just see what they got. Remember, this is an average bar, and the bulls are putting in bars that look like this and this. So that's already telling you something. Let's measure it. They couldn't match the ATR with this one here. Okay, and it looks like they're failing to do so here. So strong enough, move down, probably going to get a second leg. I'm going to sell one.
Order filled.
I think we're coming down here. This is not good follow through for this bar. Now we started to get good follow through. I got to trust myself. I'm going to get out and exit this. But I might want to add on a little bit higher after we test this. Let me put a catastrophic stop up here just in case it does something crazy on me. This is a trading range day, and this move here makes sense, but this leg, once again, we keep coming back to this. This leg is so strong right here comparative to this one. Even if we go back up, chances are there's more selling and we're going to come down. There's more sellers above, even if we go up. And if we go down, I'm looking for a measured move about the distance from here to here. About a 12-point measured move. I probably could get 10. That says 19. I probably could get 10 more out of this. Not very good follow through at all. Traded to the low of this. Couldn't break it though, but not good follow through. We trade below this body, probably going to go down a little bit further. Increases the chances we go down further. Because these bulls just got wiped out and they're not going to want to buy again after getting wiped out. This really reminds me of a situation where this will aggressively race to the top, take all the stops, and then wick hard and come all the way back down. Reminds me of a time that happened to me. I hope this is not one of those times. Not the close they wanted. Not a good bar for the bulls. Let's see what they do with it. Let's see if they try another leg or they give up immediately and come down here. I'm now targeting this low down here. Targeting this low to be ran. Bulls must be strong down here. They're taking a long, bears are taking a long time to get below here and stay below here. So let's see what happens. Maybe the bulls got something up their sleeve here. Remember though, even if this comes all the way back up here and tests all of this, it's telling you, like, what are the chances of them having enough momentum to overcome all of this selling? Not a good bull bar, not a good signal bar, and they took it. Testing the moving average again. Could be in the wrong direction here. Because now this bar is matching. It's matching ATR. See that? It's got a nice ATR on it now. So they could be trying to come right back to the top of this range. You only get bars like this when the bears stop selling and they start buying back their shorts. So I think a good bull, a good bear would buy back their shorts above this high. And close that gap right there. That gap is now closed. Let's see if that gap offers some selling support. Okay, we're testing these levels. I said we could come and test. Waiting for a test of this here. About a minute left. If bulls can close this here, they have a chance of getting higher, and I'm going to have to exit if they get good follow through. I might add on. I haven't decided yet. This makes sense. This move off this low makes sense. And the market's been doing this lately, double reversing on the open. So I may take this loss or I may add on and see what it wants to do after that. I'd like to do that below a bear bar, though, not above a bull bar. Well, I guess I could above a bull bar because they've been stronger. Maybe I'll let this bar get as high as it wants, and then I'll short it. Because the bears have to think this is a good price to short. They've been thinking that below the average price has been good to short this whole time, and now they're finally getting above the average price. I got to think they want to short again, and I want to short this. I'm going to short this.
Order filled.
Big bar. Let's see if they run the bulls out of here, or they run me out of here. Gap right here. I don't think bulls are strong enough to leave gaps open right now. Early part of their trend. This gap right here, I think we're going to come fill that gap at least. Give me a chance to get out at break even or blow right through it and give me a profit. Could continue up, then I'll definitely have to exit. Okay, they're getting good follow through above this bar. I don't like it. Bulls that bought this bar are disappointed right now. Okay, they're disappointed because this is not just taking off like they thought. But this one was all the way down here and then it reversed big green. So limit bulls might be thinking, well, the limit buy worked before. It'll probably work again. If we get back down to the midpoint or closing this gap, I might buy again. That's what bears or bulls might be thinking here. So bulls that bought are being punished. I sold and sold more higher. I'm being rewarded. I'm back to break even. Let's see if it wants to give me more than that. They closed the gap on this. There we go. Got some going there. Every $2, I'm going to try to lock it in. That's 200. $375.
Stop filled.
All right, so they took me out of both of those, but that was a $400 trade. I know I had the price and stuff off, but that was a $400 trade. We are continuing down here, just like I thought we would. Damn it. So had this happened quickly, more quickly, and I hadn't scaled so aggressively, I'd be in all of this. 2, 4, 6, that's another $800. But we didn't get there. And we got what we wanted. We got the retest. We got the pull away. So this was a bull trap. It is now 10:08. I think I'm going to stop it here. I'll probably trade some more. I'm going to get some food in me, and then I'll come back. If you guys are liking this stuff, please like the video. If I captivated you long enough to watch to the end of me trading, like the video, please. Just like it. It doesn't cost you anything but a click, and it gets it out to more people, so I can continue to get the feedback that this is what more people want to see. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. Peace.